Alrighty. Ought to be a 3 expansion day. I see Empires, Hinterlands, and I think these Sacrifices Empires, Hinterlands, Archive is Empires, Souk is Hinterlands, I think. Empires, early, I think that's Empires. I'm missing something here. What's that a scheme from? Is that a Hinterlands card? That feels like it could be a Hinterlands card. Guard Dog? What's its Guard Dog from? That's a recent card. Was it Hinterlands 2E? Alright, this is shaping up to be a hard kingdom already. Is Guard Dog from Hinterlands? Where do I think Guard Dog is from? I give up. Empires, Hinterlands, Empires, Hinterlands, Empire. Okay, I'm not crazy. There's just the two. Okay. So this kingdom was drawn from 3 expansions, and whatever the third expansion is, just no cards from that expansion got picked. I was about to lose my mind. Anyways, I haven't actually thought about the content of the kingdom at all yet. So for draw, there's Witch's Hut, Guard Dog, Crossroads of Victory cards in hand, Royal Blacksmith, Archive, lots of draw. Is Sacrifice on Trail net draw? Yes, it is. Normally, sacrificing an action card is like a village effect, but it's not like a laboratory because it takes 2 cards to get 2 cards back. If you sacrifice a trail, you're spinning 2 cards and you're drawing 3 cards total. So most of the kingdom has draw. Villages are a little bit sparser. Crossroads, the first copy, is a village. Trail can be a village if you trigger it in any of a number of ways. Witch's Hut discarding 2 trails would be a village effect. Sacrifice a trail would be a village effect. Pop an engineer and gain 2 trails would be a village. That might be it in this kingdom. Okay. Trashing, there's Sook's bottom text effect, and there's Sacrifice. And then plus, ooh. So the only plus buy in the kingdom is Sook. So that's the part that's going to make this weird, isn't it? If there were a different plus buy source, it seems pretty clear that you just shove a bunch of the draw actions in your deck and then draw it all and buy a few things a turn. Sook is a card that does not want you to draw a bunch of cards, though. Interesting. Hmm. So you can play with like maybe some Sooks and Guard Dogs, where you play Sook, draw back up with Guard Dog, play a few more Sooks. Draw to Exile decks tend to require more villages than your standard draw engines because you have to play a lot of your terminal payload before you play your draw cards. So you have to be finding a bunch of villages early on. If you wanted to play 2 Sooks and a Guard Dog, you have to find 3 total villages before you played all that. And this kingdom is a little bit light on villages. Hmm. I mean, what else are you doing? Nothing else is buying. I mean, I guess you could play with silvers or golds or something as a payload, and then just play Souk for essentially +1 buy and no money, and just use it as a ruined market. That doesn't sound great. Yeah, I think probably the goal here is just get thin, have a bunch of trails and a crossroads, play a few Souks, I think. And Scheme can make that deck a little bit more reliable. You top deck like a sacrifice and a trail maybe to kick off. Okay. think opening probably ought to be a sacrifice engineer. I want to trash, I don't want to gain trails. And if they collide, I can use engineer to gain a trail. And then just play it immediately, and that solves the terminal collision problem. There's no strong reason I need to draw here right now. I'll just take a scheme for the moment. Maybe a second sacrifice right now. I'll buy the scheme. Fashion estate by crossroads. Guard dog. This looks like it's time for some trails. The defiled shrine is getting up there in points. Got to keep an eye out on that. Actually, I don't need to trash this anymore. I wanted two trails because I wanted to play with sacrifices, but now I've got a crossroads, which kind of solves the problem. I think I'm going to trash it anyway. Hitting 5 would be nice. First Sook. Bit of a sad draw there. With 3 money, I think I'll just take the curse now. Trash a trail, play the trail. Crossroads, Sook first, guard dog. This deck is starting to go places. Buy a Sook, trash 2. I said trash 2 cards, and an engineer. And I most want to scheme. Probably should get a second scheme. Makes this choice a lot easier. Crossroads is the most guaranteed village. But Guard Dog is like my only draw card. What do I have down there on the bottom? I only have the 2 trails. I think it's junk down there, isn't it? I'm gonna put a sacrifice on top. This is a pretty good draw, all things considered. Okay, gain another trail. Sure, I'll trash that and gain a trail. One more suit. And do I want another engineer? There's a lot of trails left. Yeah, I think I want another engineer. And I've got... I think that's a second soup down there. Thought to get crossroads. I'm clicking it, I swear. There we go. I think that was my mouse pad being buggy, not the game. Okay, let's top that trail for the sacrifices. Trash the trail. I think I'm just going to trash the copper. Roads, and I need one more action. Oops. I said one more action. Now I can play them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got plenty of money. Scoring is going to be awkward here because once you start taking provinces, the souks get a lot worse really fast. Like here, if I'm playing 4 Sooks per turn, adding one province to the deck that ends up in the final hand is like -4 money, because every Sook is going to make one less money. I mean, you could kind of get around that by just sacrificing estates for points. I think ideally my plan is to just not make it late game and pile out on the earlier side while my deck is still functioning well. I think I want one more Sook. I want these last 2 trails, and I probably want more sacrifices to trash the trails. So probably I just want a bunch more engineers, at least 2. So sacrifice on trail is like a double village effect, because sacrifice is itself a village, and then playing the trail for free is like a village effect. I could add a witch's hut for discarding the trails, which is only like it's like 1 village for 2 trails, so it's a bit less efficient, but it is cursing the bot, and it's more sifting. There is some merit to that. I think I'm just gonna take. Is the bot going for Sooks? Kinda. It's got like a few of them. Maybe it's just got the one. It has 1 Sook. Curses would be a good reason, or Sook would be a good reason to give out curses, because for the same reason Province is terrible, cursing would be pretty bad. Take one more Sook, one more Engineer. It's probably a slightly greedy set of gains. I would not be surprised if I don't manage to play everything here. Turn's not over yet. Yeah, I probably should have taken one more Guard Dog. The Power of Hindsight. Can I find my... it's very far down there. Okay, so the Guard Dog is one of the bottom 2 cards of the deck. Not much to be done about that. But I did actually manage to find basically everything that matters. Let's take a Guard Dog now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I still got a points lead. Is this a win? Yeah, I suppose this is just a win. Okay, well, I'll take it. A little bit anticlimactic. I wasn't expecting to win this turn. Yeah, it's one of those kingdoms where this deck I don't think really has an end game. The goal is just don't make it to the end game. Because I think the Souk draw to X stuff just looks stronger enough in comparison to whatever else you're doing that you're going to be ahead enough to end the game quickly and not have to worry about what happens once you start adding provinces. Because I don't think the game's ever going to get to that stage.